Yeah, buddy. What's going on, guys? Good morning to you. Business up top, relaxing the bottom. I'm in my PJs below, but you can't see it. I'm off for the next couple weeks. Got a lot of work to do, but this is the SerpentX AMA. Ask Me Anything. So you guys are the host of the show. Hopefully, we're going to give it some time for people to jump in the live chat. I tweeted about it, but it's only going to be a handful of us, which I am completely fine with. This is going to be like a caffeine and crypto episode because I got my caffeine, not my normal NOS. But I want you guys to ask questions. I've been getting a lot of questions on the comments of my videos, which is great, right? That's the whole reason why I'm putting out this information and data and videos is for people who are having trouble to hit me up, and then we kind of, work it out and stuff like that. But I'm happy because yesterday I was able to finally fix my RTX 3080. Good morning, Savage Mind, Doge Lord, which is the sponsor of this episode. Chris Anderson, dogelord.com, has been sponsoring much of the live streams that I've been doing, so muchly appreciated. Chan Coin, good morning to you. He asked a question already. Do you call your thermal issue fix from your work yesterday a success or a fail? So I call it a success because we identified with the thermometer and the thermocouples that memory module that we saw on the FLIR camera, even though that was the hottest one, that wasn't strictly the issue. What I think was happening is because we got 64.5 or 64.2 something in there was the hottest temperature that thermal probe or K-type thermocouple thermal sensor could read. I think it's in silicon. It's not on the back of the PCB. It's in silicon that was getting hot. So rather than keep you guys on a long live stream, and I didn't want to interrupt or overlap Nemesis any more than I already have, I cut it short, and then I jumped in and just continued working it. And so the rest of the day, what I did was I tore down the GPU again, and this time I took the G-lid thermal pads and flipped it over. And if you looked very carefully at the thermal pads, I should have took a picture. You could actually see the SMDs and stuff like that surrounding the memory modules, like really being depressed in there. So that told me that this thermal pad specifically was very pliable. It's very, we could squish it down to be a 2.5 or 2 millimeter or whatever we needed to. The only thing was we could only squeeze it so far. Hey, maybe it's somebody that got my ledger information. So once I figured out that we could only squeeze it so far, I applied pressure, took it off again, saw where we were getting some overlaps, and what I mean by that is, so around the GPU die there's this metal rim that's actually where, like, the package for the GPU before it gets put onto a PCB, it's a ball grid array. There's this entire package, and the outer edge is like a metal rim. The memory was getting squished so far that it was hitting that rim and actually overlapping onto that rim, stopping the heatsink and that rim from making significant contact. So once I identified that, just took an X-Acto knife, and somebody asked me, could I do a video on how to set up thermal pads and stuff like that. That's pretty much it. You get thermal pads, you figure out the size, right? So usually on the back of a GPU, like on the 5000 series, it's like 2.5, 3 millimeter. I would go with 3 millimeter because you can squish it down, but if you go shorter, you won't have enough. Each GPU is different, so obviously you want to look at it. Just take a ruler and using the centimeters, see how many centimeters it is, and then translate that into millimeters, and then you can go from there. But it's typically 2.5 or 3 millimeter on the back. On the front side, it's a different story. It's going to be a little bit shorter, but once I replaced those oily thermal pads, it made a huge world of difference. And I mean, let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Here it is, man. All day. So you can see we're hitting, until I moved the mouse and turned on the computer, it was 99.73 mega hash. Before guys, before I did any of this, stock, no thermal pads on the back, we would run at 95 mega hash and it just dropped down to 70 mega hash. It was bad. Then I added the thermal pads in the back, and we got some of that back. We got some of that performance back. We got all the way up to 88 mega hash, 86 mega hash, even when thermal throttling. But I wanted that extra 6 to 10 mega hash. So if you look here at 24/7 mining, we did not thermal throttle at all night long. And this Gigabyte card has been driving me crazy. And you can see the clocks are similar to Red Panda Mining's power limit of 70%, a minus 200 plus 1200 on the MEM. And yeah, man, we're getting right at 100 mega hash now, so that's a blessing, and I consider it a success. Chain coin, in short. Savage Mine. My Coinbase password is Savage Mine Rocks 2021. Just so you know. PJs AK. Man, nah, I got my flannel PJs on. Crypto Mikel, don't be teasing me. Thank you for stopping by, gentlemen. Swap 7, what's up, man? Crypto noob. Always here lurking in a Skype call. Well, you're always lurking around. I appreciate you stopping by. All right, so Bagels HD. I have a 3080 Eagle, and I'm gonna add thermal pads. Can I have the 3mm pads for the back -8, but only one pack? I'm going under 2 mil for the front. Will that pack do? Yeah. All right. So what you can do, and I'm not sure if, forgive me if I don't recall, if you're the gentleman that asked this question, but the memory modules are only so big, and what you can do is it doesn't have to go from one memory, like, all right, so there's a strip of four, one at the bottom, one at the top on a 3080. You don't have to have a strip that it goes across all 4 memory modules. It can stop like a little bit, maybe like an 1/8 inch to a quarter, well, not a quarter inch, an 1/8 inch shy of the edge. We just need to get the heat drawn from the memory module out towards the back plate or the heat sink, whatever it is. So let's look it up real quick, because I linked it in the video. If you guys go back to this video that I did yesterday, all the thermal pads and everything that I used is linked in the description. Let's mute that real quick. And so the -pad 8, I got a big square of it, but you don't have to get the big square of it. All I used was a little strip on the back side. Let's see, which one was it? So 100 by, no, right here, 120 by 20. All right, so 20 millimeter thick, 120 long. 20 millimeter thick is actually close to the size of the memory modules, but just a little bit over. So this one pack for $18.99 will help you get thermal pads on the back side of the PCB. Right, you're gonna have 2 even long cuts and then 2 little tiny ones, and the tiny ones are not gonna be as thick as the memory module, not the exact thickness of the memory module, but it's gonna be, you know, I would say a little bit more than a 1/4 inch, so maybe 3/8. No, 3/8 is too small. What's the next one up? Yeah, 3/8. So it'll be 3/8, but it will be able to soak that heat from the back of the PCB to the back plate. So you'd be perfectly fine with this on the back side. But what I used on the front side, because the goal here, and somebody's knocking at my door, the goal here was to draw more heat towards the front. Somebody knocked at the door, Joe, and I'm on a live stream. Yeah, don't answer it. Maybe it's Ledger sending people. See, I told you. Tell you, man, Ledger people got my information now, or now it's all leaked out. I'm not worried about my funds, it just pisses me off. But enough about that. So anyways, the goal here is I wanted to draw more heat towards the heatsink. We got more surface area in the heatsink than we do in the back plate. So by cutting this thermal pad even further, because on the back plate I didn't care, I just cut little slivers and I was done. But on the front side, I cut it to fit exactly by putting it there, closing the GPU, seeing what it's at. Don't put any thermal paste on the GPU die or anything. Just close it, see how it meets, see where you're getting depression and stuff like that. If you're getting any squishing out and it's cutting, and then cut it to size. All you got to use is an X-Acto knife on a nice surface. Don't be cutting into anything that's like valuable to you, and then cut it to size, and you'll be good to go. But yeah, so this is 12 watts per meter Kelvin, while the minus pad 8 is 8 watts per meter Kelvin. So we got supplemental cooling on both the back side and the front side, but I have better thermal efficiency, sucking that heat from the GDDR6 towards the front, or and putting it into the heat sink. I did actually try, you didn't see it in the video, but I did actually try. There's 4 screws that clamp that heat sink down to the heat pipes and fin stack. I did take off the screw to see if I could pull off on that heat sink, because some GPUs would do that and it's not really efficient, but it's soldered on there, so that's a good thing. All right, so let's see here. And cryonaut for the chip itself. Is that all I need? Yes. So Bagels HD. Yes. Thermal pads, Thermal Grizzly minus pad 8, and Cryonaut Extreme. Cryonaut Extreme is expensive, but you don't have to use it. You can just use regular Cryonaut paste. It's a lot cheaper, so $9.40. This is 1 gram. I usually go with the big boy, because I always on mining we should be repasting our GPUs. If you're not repasting your GPUs, you should be doing it on a regular basis. But I get the 5 or 11 milligram one, or 11 gram one. This Extreme, look how expensive it is. $114.99. So it's not cheap. But yeah, just get some regular Cryonaut, some Thermal Grizzly Cryonaut, and minus pads 8, and you'll be good. Again, I suspect 2 millimeter on the front and 3 millimeter on the back. A 3 millimeter confirmed on the back, but the 2 millimeter on the front, not so much. Give me a sec, guys. Pest control. It's the pest service. My apologies. I guess I overlapped and scheduled different times. My severe apologies to all of you for such an interruption in our service. Back to our regular show. All right, so Chancoin, nice to see Gigabyte Eagle back in 96 megahash plus. All right, yep. Bagels, saw the video, bought the 3 millimeter, and we'll get the 2 millimeter in the UK. You know what I like? If you guys can support it, Amazon's really cheap for thermal pads and stuff like that. But I used to get my stuff from Frozen CPU, and they're really good. And they got the good Fuji Poly. Now, Son of a Tech and Red Panda Mining get the regular blue ones. These, I don't like them. They're not, so they're 6 watts per meter Kelvin. They'll get the job done. They are cheap and effective. Like, you get it. Look how big of one you would get, right? So 100 by 100 for 0.5 millimeters, so on and so forth. So yes, you could go with these, but I always go with Thermal Grizzly or Fuji Poly or G-Lid. Those are just my favorite. But Frozen CPU, the pricing is a little bit higher. Matter of fact, let's go look it up right now. Where did they move it to? Heat sinks, thermal interface. Here it is. Okay, so thermal interface. It's an old school site. Let me see if I can zoom in so you guys can see that a little bit better. So here's all the thermal pads, right? So the problem is Amazon doesn't have. The hardest one to find is this 2.5 millimeter is usually the hardest one to find, and they don't offer it. So here's 2 millimeter for the minus pad 8, but there's no 2.5 millimeter. Graphite pad, that's 2 millimeter. So they don't have 2.5. However, on Frozen CPU, boom, 2, 2.5, 3, 5, 6. Like, it has all the different sizes. And look, this Fuji Poly is similar to Thermal Grizzly's minus pad 8. What's the watts per meter Kelvin? Let's see if it shows it here. at 6 watts per meter Kelvin. They do have 17, I guess just not for the 2.5, but for the 1 mil, 11 watts per meter Kelvin, 11 watts per meter Kelvin. The higher the number, 17 watts per meter Kelvin, the higher the number, the higher or the more effective at thermal dissipation, or taking that heat from the components and bringing it out, whether it's towards the heatsink or the GPU. Bagels, you hit me with a lot of good questions. All right, so let's see here. Why? Hello. Just worried that a new ASIC miner got released. Apparently, it can do 2.6 gigahash at 3,000 watts. Efficiency seems to be 2x of the 5700 XT. Not really. So there will always be room, even if the ASICs are the boss as far as mining. There will always be room for GPU mining. So I don't agree that it would be dead. But I mean, there's ASIC. All right, so there's ASIC miners, there's GPU miners, and there's FPGA miners. Now, a lot of the GPU miners are into FPGAs, and a lot of the GPU miners are not into ASICs. I don't know how to explain that. Bigger operations, like mid to large scale, yeah, they have a massive ASICs. And so, what is the name of that company? ASIC miner. Let's try looking it up. Alright, so this is an Ethereum miner. Ethereum miner, Lindsay calls out project coders for proposed ASIC ban. Well, that's not what you're talking about. Alright, so they are designing a chip for Ethereum's current mining algorithm, Ethash. Having spent $4 million on its production, the upcoming miner claims significant advantages over the former Ethereum ASIC. Let me zoom out. Why is it like that? It's all to one side. We can accelerate PogPal by a factor of 3x to 8x. When was this? January 8th, 2019. Okay, so maybe that's not it. I mean, if they're developing an ASIC for Ethereum mining, primarily, they're kind of late to the party. Because when mining moves to proof of stake, here's the advantage of having a GPU. You just switch algos. ASICs, you can't do that. FPGAs, you can. You just need to have the bit streams, and not a lot of people. You got to know the right people to get into that crowd, so to speak. But no, mining would not be dead, even if that ASIC was very profitable in general. Oh, wife's in here. I'm sorry, baby. I didn't notice you earlier. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you're having a great day at work. Bagels hit me with another question. I can't find them G-Lid pads in the UK Amazon with the same. Yeah, get just Thermal Grizzly. Just get Thermal Grizzly. Thermal Grizzly minus pads 8 are the best. Chancoin. That ETH ASIC said it will last to the 4.4 gigabyte DAC, which we're already pretty much at. So that's going to null and void that. And then proof of stake. That ASIC is going to be a paperweight unless they move to another algo or coin that you can mine on, which you obviously can if it's built for mining ETH. It's going to be compatible with, you know, other coins, EtherGem, and so on and so forth. Alright, so you bought the pads. Good. Yeah. So you won't fry your card, but it's just going to hamper your performance. The card, the Nvidia GPU has its built-in protection mechanism and limitations, and that's why we keep hitting the thermal limits. But it's just killing our performance, man. It really is. So when you hit those limits, the biggest ones are the thermal limit, of course. Reliability voltage, like if you're doing some hardcore overclocking, the reliability voltage, you're going to hit that, and you're going to see that you hit that every now and then with gaming or mining. But it's primarily the thermal and reliability voltage that you're really concerned about. If that's hitting yes multiple times, you're hampering your performance. Yeah, I'm really sorry about that interruption, guys. I'm really sorry. All right, so Bagels is running at 70% power limit. Good. Here's my overclocks for gaming on the 3080. So 70% power limit, plus 1500 on the MEM, 95% fan speed, side panel off, keeps the 39 Celsius with 96 to 102 mega hash, but after about an hour, it hits thermal limit. Bagel, what does it drop down to? After it hits that thermal limit, Bagel, what does it drop down to? What does your hash rate drop down to? Yeah, Savage Mind, it is crazy efficient. If that ASIC that YY was mentioning can do 2.6 gigahash at 3000 watts, that is very efficient. It's already on, miner is already on F2 pool. I wish you guys could link stuff, but we can't. I can't even link stuff. So let's see here. Savage Mind is trying to help me out. This one? Hey, what's up, Dan to Dane? Haven't seen you in a while. How you doing, bud? Dude, everything is coming out of Shenzhen. I kid you not. My gimbal, most of our components, the cameras, Apple devices, like Shenzhen, China is killing it. Alright, so they got a mining firm, Lindsay. I'm sorry if I pronounced that incorrectly, YY, my apologies. Has begun rolling out a new Ethereum ASIC miner dubbed the Phoenix. Phoenix and Phoenix Miner. Reportedly 3 times more powerful than the top options available today. As reported by CoinDesk, the Journey produced the more powerful and efficient eHash ASIC and begun some 2 years ago. Wow. Mining Pool F2 Pool released a demo of the new machine on YouTube Saturday. Ooh. Let's see what this thing looks like. So it's a dual stack. So Bagels, it looks like you're doing pretty good. If your card is sticking at 96 mega hash, you're doing pretty good. So look at hardware info and see if you're hitting the thermal limit, if it's changing to yes. And if it is, add some thermal pads to the back and that should make it better. Your GPU might perform better than mine, to be completely honest with you. Let me close some of this stuff out real quick. So power up top looks like 1, 2, 3, 5 8-pin connections, power connections up top. Alright, that's enough of that. I want to tear down. You're going to do a tear down? No tear down? It's equal or greater than 9580s? Wow. That's $97 a day. They're speculating. Seems really profitable if you compare to daily net income. About $26 that, which is the A10. $26 per day is really good rate before. But almost $100 a day? That'd be sick. How much does it cost though? So there's an SD card. Insert to install the firmware. So SD card, Ethernet port, basic power supply. Oh, there's 2 of them. So probably 2, 1500 watt PSUs. That's pretty sick. And then here's the wattage. Okay, here we go. Show me the wattage. I see you plugging it in. Show me the wattage. Do it. DAG is 7.98 gigabytes. Okay, they put the F2 pull in. 12, yeah, so right under 13,000 watts, or 3,000 watts. So yeah, two 1500 watt power supplies is what you need. 1.26, 2.6, 2.6, so 2.6 gigahash, 2.7 gigahash. Good God almighty. How much is one of these? You got a link somewhere, guys? How much is one of these? A10. Okay, this is a basic site, but do you have... There's the PDF. Interesting. That's crazy. That is some crazy power. Alright, let's get back to the questions. That is pretty efficient, but I wonder how much it is. Alright, so ASIC, a safe investment of China. Dan the Dane says. Good. I like that acronym. Alright, so Bagel hit me up again last night. It's strange. Hitting around 88 to 92 mega hash. No matter what I did, it wasn't performing right. Yeah, so it's thermal throttling. If you drop down to 88, 86 mega hash, then you're thermal throttling. If you drop down to where I was, around like 74, 70 mega hash, you're definitely thermal throttling. So yeah. Crypto Jason, thank you for coming by. Is it possible to mod a 4 gigabyte 570 to an 8 gigabyte with the same memory type? No. So I say no because the amount of work that you have to put into it is not worth it, Crypto Jason. If you ever checked out actually hardcore overclocking Buildzoid, I've seen him mod power boards onto GPUs, but to actually add more memory to the GPU, you probably kill the GPU in the process, to be honest. So it's not even worth it. It'd be cheaper to just buy a 8 gigabyte version, to be honest, because you would have to. And these are ball grid array, modules, right? They get pick and place machine, puts them on there, and they run through the machine or whatever, heat it on and melt it on, make the connections. You would have to kind of unsolder it, right? So heat it up to where you could take that memory module off and then replace it with the modules that would make the total card 8 gigabytes, and you wind up killing the board in the process. Use hardware info, Bagel. I always use hardware info. Hardware info gives you software numbers, especially when it comes to power. I like to do like a kilowatt meter instead. I always use a kilowatt meter, but this won't tell you if you're thermal throttling. But use hardware info and get the latest one, and it would tell you if it says thermal down here and it says yes, and it keeps hitting yes, then you're easily thermal throttling, and it's more memory related. All right. 100 days of profit right now. Chancoin powered by 2 PSUs. Can you show your gaming overclocks, please? Oh yeah, sure. Let me move this out of your way. So my gaming overclocks is, because the Eagle doesn't have, like, so the Founders Edition I could go up to like what, 115 I think on the power limit. The Eagle is just 100, but it does pull more power at certain times. Plus 50 on the core, because it goes up to 1950. If I do 100, then it goes up to 2070. But when sometimes in WoW, when I'm at 2070, it will crash, so the game will just go off, go to desktop, and then come back on. So I only do plus 50, and then the memory clock, I could push it even harder. But while I was raiding and I was, a lot of spell casting going on, at plus 850, it caused an issue. So this is my safe overclock. And then here's my Ethereum mining overclocks. So 70% power limit, minus 200 on the core, plus 1200 on the mem, fan speeds at 100%. Alright, they will show the setup at the end. Oh, sorry, Chancoin. I mean, we saw it. I got everything I need. Yeah, the price is not released yet, but why that's a very efficient ASIC. But I wouldn't say if that ASIC comes out right now that GPU mining is dead. I wouldn't say that. Only because GPU mining, in my opinion, mining itself is resilient. You know, back in the day, we were mining with our CPUs, laptops. I remember being at my buddy's house, a LAN party, and we had this room set up, and it was just a bunch of old school laptops, and we just, you know, be mining Bitcoin. It really sucks that I don't have the Bitcoin that I have accumulated in the past, because then I would be a lot richer. But with Silk Road and everything, just to give you a little history, with Silk Road happening and what was going on, I got really paranoid at one point in time, very strange part of my life, and I just got rid of it because I didn't want to, you know, the government to come after me for dealings within Bitcoin. Not that I was buying anything from Silk Road, but it just became this kind of mental idea that if you were dabbling in Bitcoin at that time, you were a criminal. But yeah, I was a little bit mischievous back in the day. So now, you know, I'm mining it more heavily. I'm more public about it, where I wasn't as public before. If you look at my channel's been around since 2012, but I haven't done content like this up until recently, because I got into a nice spot in my life where, you know, I settled down, I got my family, I got everything kind of lined up. Thank God I have a job, because a lot of people are unemployed right now, and I wish them the best in getting you know, employment. That I can make content for you. Speaking of which, 2021 is going to be a little hard for me, guys, so I'm going to do my best to keep pumping out content for you. But my job, because there's being mass layoffs across the country and probably across the world, because businesses are being impacted by COVID, so it's going to be harder for me to maintain the YouTube channel, but I'm going to do my best because I'm getting more work. You know, when a company lays off a lot of people, that work has to go somewhere, and it will often go to people that are paid less, unfortunately, and my team is just taking on more responsibility. But it's something that we'll be able to handle, and we just got to train up the new people and stuff like that. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, 2021 is going to be a little rough, so bear with me as we go into the new year. I'm off these next couple weeks. I would do my best to get some content out for you guys, but I have no new hardware to test. I am going to be waiting on the RX 6700 XT if I can get my hands on it. We got CES coming out on January 12th, I want to believe. Let me see here. CES 2021. Because Nvidia, yeah, so Nvidia's got an announcement on January 12th, and CES is just around the corner. So keep your eyes open for that. We should get a lot of new good hardware tidbits. Oh, they showed the wattage at the end of the video? Okay. We'll go back, Chancoin. We'll go back. Well, we did see it. It was 26, so 2.6 gigahash, 2.7 at right under 3,000 watts. We did see it. I guess I must be reading this late. It might be on a delay. Ace K, thank you for stopping by. Hope you're doing well, bud. If you guys got any questions, definitely leave it in the live chat. I'm trying to go through it as best I can. Bagel's been blowing me up, which is perfectly fine. Yeah, it's hardware info. HW info. You just go to hwinfo.com, come down here to free download, then click local US, and then you get the one you need. You could also get the portable one, but I always get the main one. Dane, yep, smash the like button. Please hit the like button, guys. Share this video if you know anybody that has any tech-related, hardware-related, or crypto-related questions. I will do my best to help them out. I really appreciate everybody leaving comments in the video. A lot of people have been posting random junk on my stuff too. So if there's anybody offering, you know, 10x, 5x your money, whatever, don't believe it. If there's somebody in the comments posting about Telegram, WhatsApp, this guy made my life change, don't believe it. It's a scam. if it is real, they shouldn't be posting my videos because I did not condone or give permission to. But that's not me, and I will never ask you for anything. I would never ask you to donate this so I can give you this or do this. When it's a giveaway, you will know it and it's legit. I would tell you, I'm a man of my word, and I intend to keep it that way. Yeah, Bagel, good luck with that. Change out the pads, report back on one of the videos about the hash rate. You know, what's funny is last night, Not Your Normal Miner actually just did a video. I want to talk to him because, so he's got the Founder Edition and a number of other cards. Not Your Normal Miner. He's got the Founders Edition card, and what he did was he replaced, I believe, the thermal pads just on the back side of the PCB, and he needs to replace it on the front on the Founders Edition, because if you look at the back plate that covers the back of this card right here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and a couple more over here over the other SMDs or voltage regulators and stuff. But he needs to replace it on both the front and back. But this card's really a pain to take apart. You gotta be very delicate. You gotta be very careful. There's ribbons. You don't want to break the ribbons. There's connections, and like the tiny fan pin header right here is a pain to get off. You gotta be very careful. There's the ribbon right there. Then you gotta unscrew all this and then flip it over, and then you're able to get. But just replacing these thermal pads on the back side, Not Your Normal Miner, if you watch this, is not what you need to do. You're gonna need to go deeper and replace the thermal pads. It's unfortunate. So Nvidia is using these white thermal pads, which are better. They're a little bit more, they're less oily and a little bit more thready. And what I mean by that is you can see the bits of linen woven through the thermal pads. But Gigabyte did the same thing. Like right here, if we can go down, these stupid oily pads in the bottom left of this video. That is, dude, it was leaking all over Red Panda's GPU. Where it wasn't doing it as bad as mine, but it was still oily. And it was just leaking all over the GPU. It's completely unnecessary. So they're cheaping out on cheap thermal pads. It's probably 6 watts, maybe 3 watts per meter Kelvin thermal pads, but minus pad 8, guys. Thermal Grizzly minus pad 8. Can't go wrong. Thermal Grizzly, if you want to sponsor, hit me up. The Bauer, I love you. So Chancoin's saying something about probably won't be stable and invalid shares maybe. Let's see here. Alright, so Chancoin is saying your Gigabyte 38 can do 120 mega hash on ETH. Just posted a screenshot from others on the Discord. Yeah. But then again, you're right. You run into issues where you get a lot of rejected or invalid shares, so you gotta be very careful. Did the same thing with the 3060. 3060 Ti, you know, when I push 1200. So here's what he's talking about. Let's open original. Chancoin's talking about this. So look, 120 mega hash, 80% power limit, 340 watts, and micron memory. So probably get a lot of invalid shares because of that. But like, these cards are great. The GDDR6X are substantially better than GDDR6. Where I think is going to be, if we move to it, if that's the name that they're going to choose, where you're going to see an even better jump is GDDR7. If we move to 7 or we just script straight to 8, I don't know. Don't quote me on it. But when we do that, it's going to be a significant improvement. When we get these jumps from generation to generation, not just optimizations like GDDR5, 5X, 6, 6X. When we get these little optimizations, we do improve performance. I mean, look, the 2080 was only able to do, what, 40, 50 mega hash. No, 40 mega hash, about 40, 41. The 1080 Ti was able to do 50, 51. Now it's down to like 47, 46. But when we jump to the 3080, we're doing 90. At least 90 at the minimum. So that's a huge jump in performance. Oh, the Deadwood came by. I haven't seen Dan to Dane, the Deadwood, Ace K. I haven't seen you guys in a while. You know, every Saturday I do a show before Red Panda Mining goes live at 12 p.m. I'll try to do one this Saturday, but it's Christmas holiday. Maybe we'll have a Christmas special. I did invite Crypto Mikhail and Savage Mind to join me. I believe Nefarious said he might be available, so stay tuned. Keep an eye on Twitter at SerpentXSF, which, by the way, stands for SerpentX Special Forces. PCB guy, thanks for stopping by. And what's not efficient? That is 0.352 hash per watt, not efficient. What are you talking about? You're talking about on 3080? Oh, you're talking about the overclock 3080, where it's hitting 120. That's a good question. So, yeah, God, that is horrible. That is horrible. But if we bring it down and we can do, let's say, 100 mega hash at what is it, 220, that's better. 0.45. And what I like is, let me go ahead and pull this up. And Savage Mind, if I have your permission, I would like to showcase your chart. Savage Mind's got a really good efficiency chart that I really like to keep an eye on. I can't post links in YouTube anymore because they suck. But you can see efficiency-wise. Let's go ahead, and my Noctua fans are definitely kicking up. Let's turn it back the other way. So, let me turn these fans down. So, the 5700, this is new. AMD RX 5700 MSI Evolve Flash to XT Crypto Pope. So, yeah, I like taking the 5700s and flashing them to XT BIOS. That definitely increases performance. 54.7 mega hash. I'm able to get 56, almost 57 on the ASRock Challenger 5700. But the 3060 Ti, the 5700, the 5600 XT are like my top picks as far as efficiency and price to performance and stuff like that. And you can see the 5600 right here. Efficiency is 0.38 at the numbers, but I believe people can hit 40. So if we're able to hit 40 at, what's the wattage you have in here? 115. I think, believe it or not, Savage Mind, our boy Carter from Bitsby Trippin' was able to get it down to 90 watts, and that's 0.44. But you have to check out that stream to validate the information. So, but Savage Mind, this chart is so good. I love it. I love it. You guys, if you haven't heard of Savage Mind, which I'm pretty sure you did because most of everybody that's in here supports the mining community, and we greatly, as a whole, I believe I speak for everybody when I say we greatly appreciate it. We are one big mining family, but Savage Mind has got some great content. I really love what he's done with his area with the networking equipment and stuff like that, because I'm a network guy. I believe Lightning took out one of them, right, Savage? Took out one of your modems or routers. Whatever happened with that? Let me turn these fans down real quick. It's good. Yeah, it's all where it's supposed to be. Is the fans getting a little too annoying? Because the Noctua fans can get pretty loud. Let me know in live chat. Otherwise, I'll turn them down. Let's see if there's any questions. So Ace K, I already got the 3060 Ti. I did a video on it. 3060 Ti has been... I got the 3060 Ti not too long ago, and it actually made it into my top GPUs for mining in 2020, 2021, where I list all the top GPUs that I would recommend if you're going to get into mining. As far as the 3060 Ti, here is a summary video of the crypto mining performance, and then I did a live stream where we tested the crypto mining performance over time, and realistically the best one that we found was bringing down the power limit on a 3060 Ti to 50%, bringing up the memory up to 1200, which gave me a little bit of rejected share, so I backed it down to 1180. And what was the core clock at? Matter of fact, if you go to Reddit right now and look up CMV Jacks, I keep posting numbers and stuff there, and then sharing that with what to mine and stuff like that. I have the Octopus algo mining performance on both the new cards, but here's all the numbers for the 3060 Ti, and I believe the best one was, yeah, just turning down the core. Same thing with the 3080. You turn down the core a little bit, you bump up the memory, you drop the TDP, and you get the 120 watts, but around 61 mega hash, somewhere in there. So pretty good, pretty decent card. So Mohammed Harris Khan says, I'm mining a rig with 578 gigabyte. They are giving just 26 mega hash in Gminer. So you should be able to update or modify memory straps on those GPUs if you haven't already. I don't have any videos on it, but there are a number of videos out there on how to do it. Just look for your specific model, and you should be able to get that to 30 mega hash. Also, obviously, I'm pretty sure you have it turned on, but inside the AMD control panel, make sure that compute mode is turned on and not the gaming mode, just FYI. But I'm pretty sure if you're getting 26 mega hash, you already know that. But you might be able to modify it and get it up to 30, 32. Yeah, see, the Deadwood says, Mohammed, my 480s, 580s are 32 each, and you can make the 570 perform like a 580, just FYI. I just don't have any content on it. So my apologies. Welcome. If you're new to mining, Mohammed, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. It's a great community, at least in the mining aspect. When it gets to the trading aspect, it could be a little bit cutthroat, but I appreciate you stopping by, and welcome to the community. Good morning, Max Voltage. Success at MC this morning. 3060 Ti tough. In hand for daughter. Nice. You got 3060 Ti tough. Let us know how that thing performs before you give it to your daughter. The Asus Tough is one of the top cards that I would recommend for the Nvidia 3000 series, to be honest. If you want my pick of 3000 series, doesn't matter if it's 3080 or 3060, but the Asus Tough, the EVGA XC3 Ultra or higher, not the black, Ultra or higher. MSI Trio, I haven't checked out the Ventus, or I don't know anybody that has the Ventus. Supreme is probably good, but it's very expensive. The For the Win 3 from EVGA. And the Strix. And the Trinity. The Zotac Trinity. The Gigabyte Eagle and the Gigabyte Gaming OC. As you can see from Red Panda and myself, we're having issues. Maybe not so much in the 3060 Ti, it won't bother us too much, but in 3080s it will, because these memory temperatures are getting supremely hot. Alright, there's a lot of stuff coming in now. Let's see here. Savage Mind, Storm got me last night. Alright, so Savage Mind responded to my question. Lightning took out my cable modem. Luckily, that was all it took out, right? I have, by the way, I have the Aris 10 gigabit modem, Savage Mind. Pretty good. And then I have the Asus AX88U Wi-Fi 6 router, and it just blows my network out. It's so good. But I love your setup. Oh man, I love your setup. So don't get me wrong. Your setup is like way better than mine. But if you were gonna get a modem, which I'm pretty sure you already got, I like the Aris Surfboard ones. All right, so. Mohammed, what about ETH 2.0 and proof of stake? Will it kill mining? So it won't kill mining, Mohammed, but it would make it uneventful for the people that like Ethereum. So right now, if we mine to our heart's content, we're pretty much all mining Ethereum. Most of us, not all of us. There's other coins and stuff like that, but right now Ethereum is the most profitable cryptocurrency to mine, whether you're AMD or Nvidia. When that switches, what's going to have to happen is a lot of those people that want to stay on ETH hash, especially the AMD side of things, if we switch over real quick to 6 RX 580s, which by the way, all of this data I keep in a monthly video where I look at the profitability, what was the most profitable cryptocurrency to mine for the previous month, and at the end of 2020 I will have a consolidated video of all that information of what was the top cryptocurrency to mine in 2020 as a whole. But if Ethereum went away right now, the next best thing we have is Ravencoin, Veal, Haven, Beam, Conceal, BitTube Cash, Mimblewimble Coin, which I never got into, Xano, and then Ethereum Classic, which is not even on the same algo. So we're gonna have to switch to another coin. That's why for ASICs it's bad, because they're not gonna be as profitable, right? If you're running these machines that pulling 3,000 watts and stuff like that, and you're running, let's say, Dubai Coin or Elysium or EtherGen, it's not gonna be as profitable as it was when it was mining Ethereum. However, ETH 2.0, at least right now, in preparation for ETH 2.0, we have the proof of work chain and the proof of stake chain. And those two are going to operate in parallel for some time until we switch on over. I hope Ethereum continues to delay it, because I'm enjoying these Ethereum profits, but eventually when that happens, it won't kill mining. We'll just have to switch to a different project. And for people with ASICs, it won't be as profitable. People with GPUs like ourselves, it won't be as profitable, but at least we're still making profit. We could always just switch to Ravencoin, where these ASICs can't switch from Ethereum to Ravencoin. They have to get more specialized hardware. So it won't kill it, but we'll have to see how it turns out. It's just unfortunate, because the miners, GPU miners specifically, have supported Ethereum. Yeah, we may not have all the hash rate, but we supported Ethereum for such a long time. I really wish they would stick with us. Alright, so let's see here. Work Crow, I saw you. What's up, buddy? Hope you're doing well. Savage Mind, thank you for jumping in and asking questions. Deadwood, I don't know why you retracted your message, but okay. Max Voltage, I only had to get there at 5:30 a.m. Although, so you were at Micro Center at 5:30 a.m. Although could have gotten there at open and still gotten one. They had a huge drop this morning in Westmont, Illinois. Anybody near Westmont, Illinois, go get one. Even got over 30 of 5900X CPUs. Max, go back up there and get me one. We will talk in Discord. So I have right next to me, I have the 5600X Ryzen CPU. It's for my son Joey, who's doing really good. A/B honor roll, very good kid, knocking it out the park. And so I built him a Ryzen system so that way he could play his games. And I got to test it and stuff like that. I do want to. I did some basic content on it, but I do want to test out the SSD that's in it and kind of give like a roundup performance of that. But yeah, the Ryzen system is pretty good. It's the ASRock B550 Steel Legend 5600X, which I would like to put the 5900X in, because honestly, Max, if I got the 5900X, Joey's getting the 9900K, and I'm keeping it. I'm keeping the ASRock system. I'll swap everything over in one day, and I will keep that ASRock system. He won't even know. As long as he can play his games, he don't care. But yeah, 5900X is a unicorn. All right. So Savage Mind is helping out Muhammad. Good deal. All right, Bagels, take care. I'm sorry if I responded late. You take care of yourself. If you really have a question, maybe tag me, because I'm missing a few. Or feel free to send a super chat. Only if you have money. If you don't have money, please don't. Alright, so guys, I bought 2 more 5700 XT, 1 Sapphire Plus, and the other MSI. Ooh, Mecha. So the MSI Mech has been giving some people some problem. Maybe yours is good. Maybe they have a different batch that's running really good. But yeah, the MSI Mech is one. The reason they're so available is because people are avoiding them. The Mech I would avoid. BRB, daughter replugged and the computer needs help. Well, enjoy the new computer, Max. I hope your daughter enjoys it. We're all building computers for our children. Jay Bohannon, what's up? Red Panda aficionado stopping by. Appreciate it. Yes, I have one 578 gig, 4 580s. Works great. Hive OS. But in Windows, I lose the 570 when I try to mine. System window not config, the 570, but the 580s work fine. So in Hive, you have the 4 580s and 1 570. But when you switch over, the 570 disappears and it's only the 580s. Have you tried the basics, right? Whenever you're having GPU issues, try the basics first. DDU. Boot into safe mode, DDU. Just uninstall all drivers and everything, get it all squared away, boot back in, and install AMD drivers again. Now here's the thing, AMD drivers I'm still on an old driver. You sometimes might have to find the one that works for you, but let's go down to the 500 series. Let's say we'll get the 570. Let's see what the latest driver is. So 20 Adrenaline driver 20.12.1. I am all the way back on. Let's go to previous drivers. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. I am still on 20.4.1, but not this one. You see how this says April 2nd? They took the one that I'm on off, so I had to upload it to a mega download, and I linked it in a few videos. I found that to be the best driver because when I mod the 5700 mem timings or mem mod, and I install one of these new drivers, what happens is the 5700 would go back to its stock form, even though I modded the BIOS, which makes no sense. So rather than tweaking it, because AMD drivers can be a little bit finicky, I left it on the driver that I had. So if you want, oh man, where did I put it? I have to find out. I have to find where I put it. But I have the 20.4.1. Try this driver first and see what happens. The April 2nd. When you go to the drivers page, just scroll down into previous drivers. After you select your card, go to previous drivers, 64 or whatever your operating system is, and try an older driver and see what happens. I know a lot of people are like, you gotta keep your drivers updated, yada yada yada. But or excuse me, it was 20.4.2, but not May. It was in April. It was actually like 4/21/2020, but it's not here anymore. But try these two and see what happens. Jay Bohannon, DDU, remove drivers, install drivers, and then go from there. But feel free to hit us up in the comments on one of my videos, and I will do my best to help you out. Here's Red Panda. We're about to get into Red Panda. Let's see here. Savage Mind, your setup is way overkill. Yeah, it's not. It's beautiful. Just got the 3090. Swamp 7 got the 3090 Supreme MSI. Good job. Little disappointing, 128 mega hash at 300 watts. How's the thermals? You running into any thermal issues? So in hardware info, are you running into any thermal issues? Right here, this one. Let us know. Uh-oh, Dan to Dane with the 50. The 50. Appreciate it, buddy. Thank you so much. It's good to see you. It's good to talk to you. You had a very inspiring comment that you left for me, so I appreciate it. Yeah, Savage Mind is thinking the same way. You're disappointed with that? It's not bad. The efficiency's pretty good. So yeah, sorry, Mohammed. The time frame, I would agree, probably 2022, Q2 2022. They're thinking end of this year though, for switching over to Ethereum 2.0. But I think 2022. Go for Raven. The difficulty is low, is what Dan the Dane says, and as never before, there's double the payout. Alright, can anyone answer my question about the 5700 XT I got? Are they good versions? Mohammed, like I said, the mech is not, but the other one is. The Sapphire is good. The mech has a lot of thermal issues. That's why I said that. PCB guy, he's got the MSI 5700 XT gaming at 55 mega hash each. So some people are getting actual good performance. So maybe the MSI mech. I know the beginning batch of the MSI mech was hugely having thermal issues, and as well, what was the other card? The XFX stick, XFX RX 5700, because it had all this shrouding and embezzlement. You can see here that they took all that out, and so that was hampering airflow, and now the new version is a lot better. Like Red Panda's got that, and he says it's running really good. Oh, Savage Mind donated 5. See, I'm so behind. I'm trying to catch up. Thank you, Savage. Johnny Lucky 7, AMD drivers review the latest. 20.1 not working for me. Yeah, go to 20.4.2. Try 24.4.2. That's the best one that I found. But again, the version that I have is not on here. I can't link it in the live chat, damn it. Sorry, YouTube. I didn't mean to curse. If that's considered a curse word, I'm sorry. Alright, Savage Mind has got that question. Good job. Alright, hopefully I addressed the driver question, because that came up quite a few times. Nope, no thermal. So Swamp 7's not having any thermal issues on the 3090. I think I'm caught up now. Anything above thermal throttles. Tag me if you have a question, because I'm missing some, and I do apologize. But as far as drivers, 20.4, you can do the @SerpentXSF, and that will get my attention if you can't do the super chat. So 20.4.2 is the one I like. And see, I can't. Let me make sure it's not loading my personal information in front of you. Hang on. Yeah, see, look, I got all these tools in here. I got MS Office. I got the 5000 series, you know, registry modifications. Back before there was the More Power tool. I got the 5600 XT original BIOS that was performed really well on the Sapphire Pulse. I got the ATI Flash tool. I got Bitcoin interest for some reason, the classic ProgPal miner. But this version right here, April 20.4.2 driver is no longer available. They only have the May one. And the 20.4.2 is what I'm running on. That's what the one I like to use, only because the mem mod sticks. Whenever I update drivers and then I apply the mem mod or flash the BIOS again, it takes it away for some reason, even though it shouldn't, because it's a BIOS. I don't understand it. So yeah, 20.4.2, try the May one, hit me back up, comment on one of my videos if you still having issues. Oh, PCB guy, thank you for the $10 donation. I appreciate that very much. Alright, so PCB guy got the Gaming X, not the Mech. Okay. Says it is the Gaming X, not the Mech. Wait. Who are you talking to? Oh, it's the MSI Gaming X. Is that what I was doing wrong? MSI Gaming X. For the 5700s? Let's see here. Yeah, okay. It wasn't the Mech. Whoopsie. So the Mech is like the Ventus looking one. Yeah, okay, so the Mech, well, no, I heard some things about the Mech too. It's really up in the air, right? So there's a disclaimer that us gamers, overclockers, and enthusiasts, miners must say. This is the Silicon Lottery. My clocks may not work for your GPU. Your clocks may not work for my GPU. My temperatures may be better than yours. Your temperatures may better be mine. Well, you just tune, right? When it comes to mining or overclocking or whatever, you tune. Right? If it's for gaming, let me show you what I do. If it's for gaming and it's a new GPU, I load up Heaven. Okay? I run it, and it's loading up on this screen. Give me a second. When it comes to finding out the best gaming overclock, I run this benchmark, right? I keep hardware info and MSI Afterburner open. And then I tune, right? Bumping up memory, you know, plus 50, plus 100, plus 200, whatever. I always start with the core first, though. And I do in increments of 10 to 20. You know, if I know exactly, if I already seen where some people are already hitting, then I might do like plus 20, 25, plus 50, plus 100, and then go up from there in increments of 5 or 10. Once I get the core stabilized and I know, all right, I hit my limit, restart the computer, whatever, I go ahead and start bumping up the memory by, you know, plus 50, whatever. Just tune your GPU. Each GPU is going to perform differently than others. But Heaven Benchmark is actually not only a good tool to use to figure out where your gaming overclock should be, but also where your mining can actually be as well. You can actually find the memory issues, because when you bump up the memory too high, you're going to start to see this artifacting, like pink and green, and these little stars start to show up. You need to back down the memory. Overclock's too high. But everybody's going to perform differently. I can't guarantee you perform the same as us. Yeah, so Muhammad, if you got cold temperatures where you are, you might be good. Max voltage, back, sorry, allowed 1 CPU per 30 days, already purchased. Yeah, that's right, I forgot about that. You have to go into Micro Center with your ID and be like, hey, you know, can I get this? And they're like, no, you already bought it. Nefarious got caught out with that. He tried to get me to 6800. All right, Johnny Lucky7, can you switch drivers on a BIOS modded card? You should be able to, yes. But for me, for some reason, I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I update the drivers. The 590 XFX Fatboy works. The PowerColor works, but the ASRock Challenger all of a sudden goes from 56, 57 mega hash to 54, 52. I don't know. So I reapply the BIOS mod, right? Because I have it saved and I have all my pre-config and all that stuff, and it just acts silly. So I just haven't bothered updating. That's just the one that I found the best. Oh, that's another thing too. For the gentleman that was telling me that the 570 was not showing when he switched to Windows rather than Hive. You know what, Johnny? You just gave me an idea. Johnny Lucky7, you just gave me an idea. There's a video I haven't done in a while that I need to update, and I will do that. But for the gentleman that was saying that the 570 was not showing in Windows but it's showing in Hive, do what Johnny just mentioned. You go to Device Manager. I always right-click the Start and go to Device Manager. It opens up. You go to your display adapters, right-click, and you can uninstall device, restart the computer, and Windows would sometimes try to apply a default driver, see if that works better. If it doesn't work better, then switch on over an update to the driver that we were talking about. But a video that I haven't done in a while, I don't know if I could find it in time, trying to keep up with these questions. Yeah, MSI, so Swamp7 agrees with me. The MSI 5700 mech OC memory temperatures is garbage. Yeah, I agree. On top chat, not live chat? Huh. Dana has a question. The list Serpent showed earlier, the list of a GPU power. Oh, that was Savage Mind's list. I can't link anything in the live chat because freaking YouTube's being stupid. But yeah, that list is awesome. Let me go back to it real quick. So Savage Mind's got two tabs down here. You go to it and it's down here. Let me see if I can share. Let me not show anything to you guys. I love you, but not that much. Let's see if it would do it. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put a space between HTTPS and the colon. Copy that and then remove the space, and then you should be able to see it. I forgot about that trick. So there's a video that I did, and I'll try to keep up with chat as best I can, on what is the best driver for AMD, yada yada yada. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Control F, AMD. Not over here, you idiot. This one. Driver. Whoa! Too fast. Control F, AMD driver. Oh, it took it away. Go figure. Best AMD. Okay, best AMD driver for crypto mining 2020. And there it is. There's the link. Okay. Adrenaline 2020 edition 20.4.2, but then when you click on it, which one does it go to? Does it go to the May one? I can't tell if this is the May one. Because I had to link it via Mega Mega downloads. Where is it? Here it is. So it's in the it's in the comments. Here's the download right here to get the 20.4 driver that I was talking about. I'm gonna put another space in the live chat. So, whoops. I think that didn't work the way I wanted to. Can you guys click that link? I don't think you can. Damn it! Stop doing that. Alright, let's see here. So max voltage, I'm going to try updating Windows, as I know the GTX 1000 series require a minimum Windows update. Yeah. Keep your Windows updated if you can. On the mining rig, I update and then I pause it. I update to the latest. Every once in a while, I come and check, update to the latest, and then I pause it. Because I don't like it interrupting my mining. Okay, I'm trying to Swamp 7. Try different miners on the RTX 3000 series. Found T-Rex miner thermal throttles the memory fast and causes lower hash rate over time versus Phoenix miner, but the initial hash rate higher. Yeah, I noticed that too. T-Rex miner Swamp 7 performs a lot better than Phoenix miner, but it's the intensity. You know how you can control the intensity? Drop the intensity down a little bit, and you might see like this middle ground. If it's at 22, maybe drop it down to 21 or 20 and see how that works out. But then you're going to be sacrificing some hash rate but long-term stability or long-term consistency. But yeah, I just go to Phoenix Miner. I like Phoenix Miner, and I keep it updated. You should always be updating your miners, by the way, guys. Always keep up to date with your miners, as well as your wallets. Because sometimes there's mandatory updates, and if you miss those mandatory updates, it can cause issues, corruption of your wallet .db file, and all kinds of stuff. So you want to stay up to date. Mohammed, the country I love and has banned crypto since years ago because I didn't understand it, and now it's opening up and I'm late to the party. You're not late to the party, Mohammed. Just because crypto mining was at its infancy in 2011, 2012, 13, and really didn't start blowing up to 2017. If you're just getting in now, you're not late. We're still early, guys. We are still early. I believe crypto is here to stay. Blockchain is here to stay. The technology behind it is here to stay. And it's going to revolution. Oh, my God. It's going to impact the world in a positive way. So you're not late to the party. If you're just joining, great. Now, if it's 2025 and you're just joining, then maybe you might be late. Yeah, Bitcoin's at $23,000, but you're not late. Just keep building up your rigs, keep building up your momentum. Obviously, the biggest thing that I want everybody that's at home mining to do is make sure your house construction is good. You don't want to be mining and not have adequate electrical in your household. You can cause a fire, especially if you're pulling too much power through your outlet. And your outlet can't handle it, or the wires going to the outlet can't handle it. Oh, Max. Shoot, he walked away. Update the BIOS. You're right. Update the BIOS first. Go to another computer. Go to the website for your system. See, I talked about this in my video. I should have remembered that. I can't believe I forgot. I should have told him this. Oh man, where was it? I had the same problem with the 5600X. Had the exact same problem. Where is it? I couldn't even boot into Windows until I updated the BIOS. Where's my video? Oh, here it is. Can't B550 motherboard ship with Ryzen 5000 ready, but what happened was it wouldn't let me boot into the system. Yeah, see, can boot to UEFI only options if you can update. So yeah, max voltage. Go update your BIOS, get the latest one, then reboot. All right, so 570, 580 is BIOS modded. May also need to apply ATI Pixel Patcher in Windows so you can see the card. Yeah. Where is it? I have it on the AMD system. I don't know if I have it on this system. ATI Pixel. It comes within the one of the. Yeah. So it's gonna look like this window right here, right? After you complete the steps in BIOS modding, and then you load this up, you hit yes, and then you have to restart the system, and you'll be able to see it in Device Manager. Actually, that might fix your issue that you were having with the 570. Yes, if you can run the 570 card only, it will work great in Windows, but when you add the second card, a 5880, it will kick the 570 out with the config error in Windows. What is the config error? What is the actual error? Is it like in Device Manager, is it detecting the GPU? It's not detecting the GPU. If it is detecting the GPU, is it saying code 43, code 12? There's a lot of variables at play here in order to properly troubleshoot this. Oh, okay. I thought you bought the 5600X for your daughter, you said. No, what did you buy for your daughter? God, it's hard to keep up with everybody today. Thank you for all stopping by. I really appreciate it. This is awesome. Max voltage. Max voltage. She has the X470 with the Ryzen 7 2700X with 3060 Ti. Oh, that's what it is. You got the 3060 Ti for her. Okay. So do the basics, man. All right, Windows updates. Maybe check the BIOS anyways. Check the website, BIOS, and see if what you're on. Compare what you're on to what's on there now, and see if that helps you out. But do Windows updates first, then check the BIOS and max voltage. Tag my name and summarize the underlying issue one more time. Because otherwise I'm going to have to scroll up and I'm going to have a hard time doing that. I'm going to continue on. But tag my name and summarize the underlying issue you are experiencing right now on that computer. As best you can. The driver is not loaded for the 570 GPU. Only loaded for the 580. Alright. So when you're having this many issues with GPU mining rig and other cards are disappearing or not appearing, what I like to do is just break everything down. Take all the GPUs off, all the risers, disconnect everything, alright? Plug in the 570 first. Boot into that. Alright, get the driver loaded and everything. Alright, can we mine with the 570? Just the 570. On the motherboard and everything on this mining rig, can we mine with just the 570? Yes or no? Yes? Alright, cool. Shut down again. Next 580. Boot back up. See if the driver detects. If not, install the driver again. Can we mine with the 580 and the 570? Alright, good. Alright, we can. Reboot. And keep doing that until you get to your last GPU. I've seen issues before with AMD where as I add GPUs in, I do have to do a fresh install of AMD drivers and stuff like that, which is why I go to DDU. The problem with DDU is say you're mining on Windows, but you're wireless instead of Ethernet. First, you should be on Ethernet, but you can't always run a cable to everything. DDU, sometimes you can't get into safe mode wirelessly. You can't get into safe mode with networking wirelessly. You're going to have an Ethernet cable. And if your monitor won't come on in safe mode, then you're going to have to use an Ethernet cable and remote desktop in. But DDU, 570 first. Let that be the only card plugged in. Install drivers. Try to see if you can mine with it. If it's mining where it's supposed to, great. Start adding cards. Shut down, restart, and add card. See if the driver detects. See if everything comes up. Can you mine with it? Yes. All right, move on to the next. So on and so forth. But it's always simple to break down everything and build it back up. and just troubleshoot. All right, is it the riser? Is it the cable? Are we having issue with the USB connection? Are we having issue with power? No, we're getting power. All right, you know, break it down. It's just like a car, right? What are the 3 things we need to make a car run? We need fuel, air, spark. Okay, well, with a computer, we need spark, electricity. We need data, because we're taking the data from the riser through the USB cable, through the 1X adapter. So we got spark, we got power, and we got communication or connectivity. The last thing I guess you could say would be, well, there is no last thing. You don't need, well, air, thermals, but we don't really worry about that too much. Thermals should be fine. So I guess my car analogy is just falling flat on its face right now. But yeah, you got power, great. Do we have connectivity? Can we try a different USB cable? Can we try a different riser? Can we try a different 1X slot or 1X adapter? You know, try different stuff. Just break it down and go from there. All right, everybody's hit me up now. Let's see here. Can we have a talk about BIOS modding the new 3000 series Nvidia? How long till that comes out? Where we come? What? Johnny, what are you talking about? BIOS modding a 3000? You kidding me? Nah. Alright, first off, we're gonna go to tech, power up, right? If there's gonna be any BIOS modding, it's gonna be here. Okay? Let's see here. Downloads. Okay, NV Flash, updated December 17th, 2020. Here's a tool that we can use to flash the GPUs. Here's the problem. Nvidia is like locking it down horribly. Nvidia is not allowing the GPUs to be as modded as the AMD. So even if, like, let's say maybe we can confirm, we can try this out. We're more than welcome to try this out. But let's just say that we know this Gigabyte reference model 3080 can be flashed with, you know, maybe the Asus Strix one, because it's the Asus Tough, because they're the same, based on the same reference design. Then we download the BIOS for that GPU, and then we flash it. But you're risking all kinds of issues. Because Nvidia has severely locked down these GPUs. So I wouldn't say there's any BIOS modding for Nvidia. AMD, however, when do we expect to see that? Well, I expect to see that when Igor's Lab and the Red BIOS Rebellion team, I believe that's their name, or this the Red BIOS editor, when that comes out and has an update, you know, to include, well, that's November 20th, so that was the last update. Let's see here. Yeah, it's still the 5700. I don't have a 6000 series GPU. Ooh, boy. Oh, yeah. Who's got a 6000 series GPU? So they added it for the more power tool. Let's see. But it doesn't work for the editing and the red RBE tool. But they do have a more power tool, guys. Oh, yeah. When that 6700 comes out, we're going to be trying out some stuff, if I can get my hands on one. But yeah, you might as well not even worry about Nvidia. AMD, well, we already see that the more power tool came out. That would give us a little bit more performance. But as far as BIOS modding, we may not see that until Q2 of 2021, Johnny. Red BIOS, the Red BIOS editor, or the team, the Red, oh God, what is their name? How did I forget their name? They did so much for the community as a whole. But anyways, the guys over there are really good, man. They're really good. But Nvidia, I don't count on it. So, Muhammad, you're sending your coin to Coinbase. Is that good or bad? It's okay, but don't keep it there. You need to have some type of cold storage to where you can access whenever you want and always own your keys. Not your keys, not your coins. You always want to have control of your wallet. So get yourself a ledger or some type of cold storage wallet that you can't lose. You know, your phone might be a good option, but if you lose your phone a lot, and then that's not a good option. I use the Ledger Nano S, the Ledger Nano X and S are good options. But what happened with Ledger recently? Well, their database of information, as far as if you bought the Ledger over Amazon, your information, email, phone number, and stuff like that has been leaked, unfortunately, to a database. PCB guy, I'm troubleshooting. It's called divide and conquer. That's pretty much what it is. Nice Hack is pretty good. Nice Hash is alright. If you want to get paid in Bitcoin and accumulate as much Bitcoin as possible, Nice Hash is a good option. You know, they've rebuilt their reputation over time, so it's really good to see them doing that. Jay Bohannon, is that 570 modded? If it is modded, try returning it back to the stock BIOS and see if it will work with the 580s on the same rig in Windows. If it's not modded, try modding it with the instructions of intelligent people out there. I can't speak to it because, again, I didn't mod a 570, but do what I said. Either you already tested out the 570 by itself, it works fine, but when you add the other cards, it stops working. Try breaking down the rig and just doing everything fresh. DDU, uninstall everything, add card one by one, starting with the 570, and go from there. May not resolve your issue, but I wish you the best. Ryan Brewer, you still can't BIOS mod a 55 or 5600 or 6000 series, is probably a ways off. So you can mod the 5600 XT, but not the 55. And what I mean mod, it's like a light mod. What is it called? So you can use the more power tool to expand limitations. Excuse me. And if you haven't checked it out, Carter from Bits Be Trippin' has done a video where he was able to get that 5600 up to about 40 mega hash at around 90 watts. Let's see if we can find it. 5600 XT. Yeah. So best bang for the buck mining. Recap of the live stream. Let's see what he was able to do. 43 mega hash, 43 mega hash. Yeah, so 43 mega hash at 116 watts. But I think in a tweet he said something like getting close to 90 watts at 40 mega hash. And there's the limit right there. So the core at 1300 at 800 millivolts, memory at 1860, and the more power tool will let you expand that memory limit. Remember, the more power tool, let's see if I still have it installed on here. The more power tool, and it won't detect because I'm on Nvidia, but when you go over to the power and voltage, the memory will only show like in half of 1860 or half of 1750. So it'll be like 875, 900, 920, whatever. So you want to bring it up to 1000 in the more power tool. That doesn't mean you want to hit 1000. That's just the limitations have been moved back a little bit, so you can hit 1860 mem and stuff like that. But yeah, check that out. So Mohammed, I keep my coins in a number of different places. You never want to put all your eggs in one basket. Ledger, a little bit in Coinbase, Konami, Exodus, various wallets, because I never want to keep everything in one place. There's a new wallet actually coming out. Let's see here. I can't remember the name, but the ledger, even though the database has been leaked, your personal information is out there, your keys aren't. So even though people are boycotting the ledger, it's completely fine. Your funds are still there. It's not that you lost it. It's just that your personal information, your email, phone number, stuff like that has been leaked somewhere, and you may be getting spam calls or spam emails or scam or fraud or phishing emails trying to obtain that information from you. Like, hey, click this link, you know, blah, 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 secure your account. And then you go to sign in and you gave them your information. Because in order to get the ledger data, not only do I have to get your information, I need to get your keys. Or I need to gain access to your computer and know the password to access Ledger Live, so that way I can get and export or send myself all the funds. So it's a number of steps that they're gonna have to do before you're really compromised. But it just sucks. Ledger should have done better about that. But there's a new hardware wallet coming, and I can't remember the name of it. I know Trezor's pretty good. Yeah, here's Trezor. Shapeshift's got one. What's it called? Shapeshift has got one. What's it called? Shapeshift. I think it starts with an L. Now. What's it called? Keep Key. Keep Key is another one. That's what it was. Jay Bohannon, honestly, if you're not having issues with Hive, buddy, just stick with it. If Windows is giving you that much trouble, the more downtime you have, the less money you're making. Just stay on Hive. But Windows can oftentimes be an issue. Somebody hit me up earlier and said, hey, you know, can I mine with AMD and Nvidia on the same rig? Yes, you can, but there's going to be some issues and some impacts. I always like to install the AMD cards first and install the drivers, and then put the Nvidia GPUs on and install those drivers. But occasionally when like a Windows update randomly interrupts you, you're going to bump into issues. Some GPUs are going to disappear. Some GPUs just won't hash. It's just annoying. It's better to keep them separated, but it is possible to run both of them at the same time. Yeah. Well, there is no mod for the 3060 Ti, and there won't be a mod for the 3000 series that I can see, but maybe there might be one for the 6000 series sometime in the future, Ryan. Whether or not it'd be worth it is a question and something that you can determine once that actually happens. But I would just keep an eye on Igor's lab for any updates on the 6000 series, you know, BIOS flashing, mem modding, whatever it may be, and then keep an eye on Tech Power Up for any updates. Like, I always like to back up my BIOS, and then I go and compare in the database, you know, other similar GPUs and stuff like that. But we can always download these BIOS from these cards, and technically we can try to flash a 3000 series GPU, but it's just going to cause more issues than it's really worth, so I'm not bothering with it. I am looking forward to the 6700 XT because I believe that it's going to perform like a 6800, but obviously cost less, and that's what AMD really needs to do. They need to focus on the mid to low end range of GPUs. They got all their high end stuff out. It's good to see as far as gaming, the 6800 XT being on par or beating the 3090 in some cases. But as we move into the future, it's all about memory. 8 gigabytes of memory to me now is the standard minimum amount a GPU should have. All these 4 gigs and 6 gigs cards are unfortunately not adequate anymore. Yes, you can still mine with them. There's certain projects you can still mine on. What happened with Ethereum Classic and stuff like that, bringing it back so that way 3 gig and 4 gig cards can get back in. That's great. But when it comes to gaming and mining, if we put it into one condensed field, these games are utilizing a lot of memory. Mining is using a lot of memory. So the minimum now is 8 gigabytes of memory. There's no reason to go 6 or 4 anymore. It's 8 and up. What we're going to bump into, though, is thermals. As we jump into GDDR6X, the thermal issue is going to be a problem. Yeah, I saw that, Muhammad. I talked about that on Caffeine and Crypto this past Saturday, that Coinbase filed for an IPO. It's going to be quite some time, but when Coinbase becomes a publicly traded company, I think it's going to be quite eventful for that company as a whole if you're one of the top investors to get in. But yeah, but the 5600 XT, it just depends on what your budget is, man. It's really up to you. It's all about return on investment. If you can get a good deal on a 5600 XT, the price to performance is still there. I mean, it really comes down to efficiency, right? So I know you think, well, if you can get 3060 Ti, yada, 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 but let's do some quick math here, right? So let's say 43 divided by, let's just do 115. And now we're going to do 60 divided by 120. Yeah, the efficiency is higher than a 3060 Ti, no problem. But can you get a 3060 Ti right now? Do you have a 3060 Ti? Can you buy one right this second? No. I mean, you can, but you're going to be paying well over MSRP. Let's see here. Let's go see if we can buy a 3060 right now. I am not a robot. Pre-order. Okay. Let's go back. Shop BLT, eBay. So, the 5600 XT, in my opinion, is a good entry level above the RX 580s. But your opinion is certainly valid. Why would you get the 5600 XT when you can get a 3060 Ti that can get 60 mega hash at 120 watts? So, I prefer the 570s or 5700s, and that's actually one of the things that I mentioned in a past video, where I actually returned the 5600 and got a 5700 XT. It's just the 5700s, in my opinion, are the better card because there's so much that you can do with it. Not only can you hit a higher mega hash, but as far as gaming, there's just so much more that you can do with it. So yeah, I returned a Sapphire Pulse, which is a good card. And in this video right here, RX 5600 XT or RX 5700, which should you consider? And I talk about why I picked the 5700 over the 5600 XT. So I agree with you. I'm just saying, you know, it's still an option for people just getting in to pay around $200, $220 to you know, get eight of those GPUs and be hashing away. So, but it's really up to you and your cost of performance. What are you trying to show me, Savage? You were just in a live stream, and you know I'm live streaming, so why are you calling? Yes, they were. Alright, love you, baby. Bye. FTX, yep, pre-IPO futures contract. So popular cryptocurrency exchange FTX is listed as Coinbase futures contract under the ticker CBC. Ooh, that's very interesting. So what's it at right now? 234? Coinbase versus USD stablecoin. Wow. That's crazy. Pre-IPO contract. That is crazy. So it started out at 120 and now we're sitting around 230. That's crazy. Ryan, this is your first warning. I appreciate the discussion. Constructive criticism is always welcome, but let's not get snippy with people in live chat. So simmer down now. Appreciate your information, though. You are absolutely valid, and I agree with your point. Hence the reason why I made a video on it. but it's still an option, right? So you can get RX 580s, which right now are kind of a dying breed. They're still great, but a lot of people with the RX 580s are trying to upgrade, and so they may jump to a 5700 or a 5600 XT. I would prefer the 5700 like you, but the 580s and stuff like that, especially the 4 gig models, are currently done. Jesus Christ loves me. Alright, so that one was spam. So Ledger is probably doing something. Selling my data. Yeah, it's quite unfortunate that Ledger had that leak. But any company is going to have a leak, guys. What it all comes down to is protecting your data. And Savage Mind, thank you for sharing this, by the way. That's very interesting to me. Is anybody going to try to jump in on this? Or can you even trade on FTX? Does your country allow it? Maybe it may not let your country allow it. So, but this is pre-IPO. When Coinbase finally becomes a publicly traded company, I think it's going to be very good. It's going to be a way for cryptocurrency to be more legitimized. I mean, right now with PayPal and other institutions buying up all the crypto, it is drawing a lot of attention to it, which is part of the hype or the pump. So, valued at 60 billion. That's crazy. So you got a mixed AMD rig there, Mohammed, with 3 RX 570s, 2 480s. Man, 480s? Hang on to those. Some people still want them. Yeah, the 480s and 580s are still good and hashable, but the only concern that I have is once Ethereum switches to proof of stake, the options available may not make that card as wanted. I mean, it's surprising that you can still buy them new. I mean, I wouldn't pay the price for them, but it's just surprising. Let's go to PC Part Picker. It's surprising that you could even buy this stuff new still. GPU. I'm gonna go to the 580s, 570s. Let's put the price at the lowest. So right now, the lowest 570. What is this? That's the 4 gig. Let's go ahead and filter this by 8 gig models. And so the lowest price one that we can find is the XFX at Best Buy. Wow. But that price is still too high. I would like, realistically, let's go to eBay. I wouldn't pay more than 120 for an RX 580. Yeah, see? I wouldn't pay more than 120. $99 on a bid. Let's see what the buy now options are. Yeah, 120, so 130, 130, 165, 134. That's 4 gig though. Where's the 8 gigs? Yeah, that's too high. For this amount of money, this is where the 5600 XT comes in again. But look at the price from these third-party resellers. Good God, man. Holy crap. So obviously somebody wants them. So 280, right? And these cards are nearing that price. That's why I would bring it up. Because then that's 10 extra mega hash mining Ethereum. 10 to 13 mega hash more than the 580 at almost the same price. Depending on where you look and where you buy. But look. Obviously, somebody wanted them because they're the ones that are at MSRP are sold out, and the only ones that are available are freaking. Look at $1,000. Why? Who's selling this? Bandom, Joy Mall. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. What you smoking, man? 5700 XT. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, this makes me cry. Why, people? Why? $700? Dude, we should sell our rigs. We should break down our rigs and sell it. No, I'm joking. But that's the beauty about GPU mining, though. Hey, there's the... Isn't this the one that everybody was telling Red Panda to get? No, I think it was the other one, the cat-looking one. That Yeston one is so expensive. So yeah, I mean, the 6000 series was not available. So the next best thing was the 5000 series, and they're gone. They're gone. Amazon was the last place that I could find one, and I got the PowerColor. Let's see how much it is now. Oh, the pain. The pain. So the PowerColor one that I got's gone. Yeah. So somebody bought them all up. So not even 5700s are available. And guess what? The 1660 Supers are end of life, guys. So whatever 1660 Supers are out there right now, you might want to get them because they're end of life. Ooh, that hurts. Ooh, that hurts. All GPUs are up, man. This is ridiculous, bro. Wow, this is sad. This is sad. Oh, this reminds me. This is a perfect time for a little sponsor spot talk. So, on dogelord.com, which is sponsoring this live stream, I have my collection or my store, and this shirt speaks perfectly to all the BS that we're dealing with. I survived the 2020 GPU drought. And on the back side, it has all our favorites. The out of stock symbol, the auto notify, and the coming soon. And of course, the nice little robot that reminds us that the bots just kept on winning every time we try to buy a GPU. And now because of these bots and high demand, low supply, the secondary cards are getting scooped up and the price is crazy high. This is nuts. This is just nuts. But yeah, the 1660 Super is at end of life, and the Super replaced the TI. Man, this is $1,000. Did you just see that? $1,318 for a 1660 Ti. Get out. Yeah, Ryan, the Polaris cards are insanely priced. For sure. For sure. What the heck, man? Everything's just going nuts. Alright, so, what else? What else? Haha. Vega 56. This is nuts. So I guess the best place to buy, unfortunately, is eBay. And let's talk about that real quick. So let's go for 5700s. And we're getting ready to wrap up here in a little bit, guys. Got about 10 minutes. If you have any questions, tag my name. Send me a super chat, either or. So buying on eBay it's a risk in itself, right? So at least on Best Buy, we can go get the Raw 2, which is an okay card, for around MSRP or near MSRP. The best thing to do is to actually bid rather than buy it now, because buy it now pricing can be up there in the scalper section. But at least it's better than what we're seeing on Newegg, right? Because these third-party resellers are selling it way too high. I mean, look at those prices. That's just ridiculous. So on eBay, at least we can get close to MSRP in some sections, and there are some people that are idiots and selling it way too high. But the best thing to do would be to look for auctions or bids, because occasionally somebody will put it too low by accident. Let's see what this one is. Condition used. Okay. Priority mail. We want more information in this, so it's okay to contact the seller. You always want to check their rating. Maybe check them out, click on their name, check them out, look at their reviews, see if they're good. Now, most of these reviews will be fake, and you can see that nobody bought in 1 month, 6 months, 12 months. So this might be a little bit sketch, but you see somebody's upbidding their bid. Like that jumped up from 25 to 50 to now 102. Somebody's upbidding their bid, and it may just be a bot doing it for them, because they do have bot programs that not only buy these GPUs, but then sell, bid it up, and then add reviews and all kinds of stuff. It's really crazy. Matter of fact, I did that on one of my RTX 3080 listings where I was trying to fight the scalpers with a fake listing, and I was actually able to request, and you can do this, request multiple reviews and multiple upbids. And of course PayPal and eBay didn't like that too much, so they got mad. But anyways, it is possible. And these bot programs that can do this are very exclusive, so you got to get in with them or know somebody that knows somebody. And the best place to do it is actually follow them on Twitter. But if you do that and the gaming community finds out, or the mining community finds out you're doing that, you're going to get in trouble, or you're going to get a lot of hate. So I wouldn't publicly talk about it. Just spilled coffee a little bit. But at least in the bidding section, it's a little bit better, right? So we can, if we're smart and we keep an eye on it and add some of these to our watch list, we can probably get a card around MSRP. But unfortunately, on the retailers themselves, it's just way too high because third-party resellers are on there and they're just trying to scalp us and take advantage of a low supply, high demand situation. So, you know, other cards that I would recommend and what cards to watch out for. If you don't, you're not watching the channel, and you should subscribe because I often put this information out there. Alright, so let's see here. So Swamp 7 just bought 16 RX 580s and RX 480s, 8 gigabytes for $70 each. That's a good deal. Craigslist local had to buy all GPUs from a small farm, closing half were 4 gigabytes. So that's another thing. You can look at Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or whatever, but Craigslist can be a little bit, you know, you don't want to be showing up in an alley with a guy in a what do you call it, trench coat. You know, you want to buy this, kid? You know, that's a little sketch, but just be careful. There are ways to get around all this pricing, though. Dan to Dane's getting a DCA mug from dogelord.com. A crypto and hot rods cap. The Bitcoin to the moon 4-parted poster. That's nice. And several t-shirts. Looking very much forward to this. Nice, dude. Good job. Ryan says that the 1660 Supers are $300. Let's see here, 1660 Super. Sold out, sold out, sold out, sold out, sold out. Yeah, so this is the GPU drought of 2020. This is why I mentioned the shirt, guys. I survived the 2020 GPU drought. Out of stock, auto-notify, coming soon is all what we've been dealing with, and it's crazy. It's crazy. At least my laptop has a 1660 Ti in it. I'm happy with that. But yeah, things are just nuts. So I wish everybody the best of luck. I'm probably going to go swing up by a Best Buy here in my local area and see what they have eventually. But do we have a final date on the 6700 XT yet? It just says January, so it's probably going to be after CES, because CES is coming up. It's a digital one. Let's see if we can find the schedule real quick before I let you guys go. So we got the Verizon keynote on Monday, the Power of AI Tuesday, COVID State of the Union address, trends shaping the future of the fan experience, next generation television, Consumer Engagement Playbook, CTAs, General Motors. Where is AMD Keynote? Okay, so AMD Keynote is Tuesday, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, guys. Want to keep an eye on that, because that might be where they talk about the 6700 XT or 6700. And it could launch that day. Could, probably not. It'd probably be a little bit after, obviously due to supply and demand. But keep an eye on that. Tuesday, January 12th, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. I need to add that to my calendar. And then I believe Nvidia is also doing one, but I don't think it's a part of CES. It might be something different. It might be its own thing. And Mr. Leather Jacket himself will come out and reveal the 3080 Ti with 20 gigabytes of memory or something like that. Yeah, so let's see here. Nvidia January 12th, 2021. So a special broadcast from Nvidia. Does it give us a time? At 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So that's 12 p.m. And that's actually after AMD, right? My time. Let's go back to 2. Yeah, so AMD from 11 to 12, and then 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 10, 11, 12. So it's right after AMD's announcement. So watch CES on November 12th from 11 to maybe 1 p.m. To catch both AMD and Nvidia's announcements. I think Nvidia might do its own thing. I am going to go to Twitter and look up Nvidia and look for this announcement they're talking about. Nvidia announcement. What the heck is it? Maybe it's not. So Nvidia announcement. Anyways, just keep an eye on it. I'll have to find the link. I won't live stream it or anything, but just keep an eye on it. Alright guys, so I'm getting ready to get out of here. Savage Mind, are you on tonight? Dan to Dane ask. I hope you guys have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your week. I won't be live streaming until maybe Saturday at 12 for Caffeine and Crypto if you guys want to join me again. But keep mining away. Keep trying to gobble up good graphics cards that are, you know, and decent pricing. Don't go crazy. There's links in the description for various mining equipment that I would recommend, as well as links to dogelord.com where you can get this shirt if you're interested. And I appreciate you guys stopping by. Any last minute questions? Savage Mind, what time are you going live tonight so I can let the community know? 9 p.m. Eastern Standard, 9:30. He usually goes live around 9 a.m. or 9 p.m. 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, all right. Well, just keep an eye on Savage Minds. If you're not subscribed to him already, go ahead and subscribe. And when he posts, he posts. He also has a Twitter. So I look forward to January 12th, guys. Let's see how things shape out. And hopefully 2021 will be a better year with everything from the pandemic and shortages and stuff like that. I'm really hoping it turns out to be better. But appreciate you guys hanging out with me through the AMA. And we might do another one in the future. But keep an eye on my Twitter page for any updates. As far as joining my Discord that a few people had asked a question about, I only post the Discord link during live chat. I should have posted it earlier, but I forgot to. So I'm going to go ahead and post it now, and we're going to have to do the same thing we did before. You're going to have to remove the space in it if you want to join, because some people did ask, you know, how can I join? And I'm not trying to post it underneath this video or any videos, because that's how you get a lot of bots and scammers and phishers and stuff like that. And I already got enough of those from the other channels that I'm in. So you guys take care, copy that, take out the space, and you'll be able to join the Discord. I will do my best to address any questions, comments, and that's it. Do me a favor, guys, hit the like button on the way out, subscribe for more content like this, and I'll catch you in the next one. Once again, this live stream has been sponsored by dogelord.com.